Have you imagined a Nigeria with the right leader, a leader you voted without being coerced or manipulated? Statistics show that wrong leaders are in power because majority of the people sold their right to vote, the power to make change, and the will to enforce it. Who will you blame if Nigeria sinks further because you exchanged your right to vote with temporary food and cash gifts? The choice is yours. The PDC is yours and yours alone. With it, you have the power to put Nigeria where it needs to be, with good leaders, right infrastructures, first-class academic system, and a government that works. So this time, ask yourself, what if I don't sell my vote?
Hello, I'm back again. It's your girl. So we're in September month, and it's a month that will create awareness for spinal cord injured person. It's a month we want to people know that yes, there is a disease, or they know there is a condition called spinal cord injured, and there are these people living, and how are they navigating, and what are the challenges they are facing, and what is the government, individual agency talking about in this particular case. So we'll look into to ask, who is a spinal cord injured person? A spinal cord injured person is a person who the spine, maybe through traumatic or through illness, who the spine is severely injured, that cause damage to the nerve. So when it can be, in some cases, it can be complete case, it can be incomplete case, depending on the level of the injury. And also, some people, when they sustain spinal cord injury, there's what they call a quadriplegic. The person is affected from maybe from the below the chest down, and the person is able to use his or her hands, and also the lower limbs. And paraplegic, the person is not able to use the lower body. And when you talk about the lower body, sometimes it compresses the leg, the person is able to wee on its own or her own, but the person is able to go to toilet on its own. So these are the challenges that people with spinal cord injury, you can see, that find themselves in. But we want to look at the post-treatment. What do we think that the society, the organization can do for people? But before we look at what organization can do for people or government, I want to actually look into what can the person with the spinal cord injured do to him or herself, because this is about you. So first of all, we have to learn self-care. You have to be self-aware of what have just happened to you. I know most of us are still living in self-denial, we're still being hopeful to get up and move around like we used to do. It's a very difficult task. It's a very psychological training for someone to just snap out of this situation. But that self-care, self-love is very important, so that it can help us to move ahead. It can help you also to source for a way to help yourself. So in that aspect, you're able to know what has happened, you're able to give yourself self-care, know what is required, try to do things, no matter how the minimal you can do for yourself. Yes, we always live in people's support, in our carer support or aid support. When it comes to bathing, when it comes to toileting, when it comes to dressing up, when it comes to cooking, when it comes to moving around. So these are very essential things that we should be aware of, that we don't just give up on life. Since we are still alive, we are spinal cord injured survivors. So we have to push our life. We have to live our life to the fullest. I know the challenges are enormous, but we need to be aware of what we need. We need to be aware how to help ourselves. We need to push ourselves. Like me, I'm not relenting in trying to do things for myself. I'm not relenting in trying to understand what just has happened. I'm not relenting in trying to help myself psychologically, physically, and otherwise. I try as much I can do to help myself. So I encourage you out there also to do this same. So when we want to start asking of what can government do? Yes, we need a rehabilitation service center. It is very essential in every part of Nigeria, because when spinal cord happens to anyone, your life take a shift, as in it shifts. There is no two ways about it. You totally have a shift life. You're totally living a new life. You learn. For me, I learned how to sit down. Yes, I learned how to sit down. I learned how to eat. I learned how to turn myself on the bed. I'm learning everything all over again. But when there is this rehabilitation center, people will be able to learn things. And this rehabilitation center, they will have specialists from physiotherapists, occupational therapists, psychologists, dietitians, speech therapists, name it. This can help people to navigate life again, so they can be able to recover to a starting level, that they can be able to face life, they can walk, they can start looking for something to do for themselves. Because most cases when we talk about rehabilitation, we think about occupational one, like learning how to do beads, learning how to make hair, all these hand skills or other things. People need to be in a certain level of mental stability and well-being before you talk about this. So the rehabilitation we are talking about is the medical rehabilitation. Many people, when they are transferred, for me, when they are being released from the hospital or discharged from the hospital, they can't sit up. I myself, I can't sit up. I can't be on the chair without aid of being wrapped from a sheet to a chair. And also at that point for me, I was wearing a lumbar thoracic jacket because I don't have any trunk control. So when you are in this rehabilitation service place, if government provide this for, this is a place where you will taught. I mean, you'll be taught how they will teach you. Me, I was taught. So for others, they will teach you how to navigate life, how to wake up again, how to face life, how to know that you wake up, brush your teeth, for you to be hopeful again. So we need this to help many people who cannot come out, who are living in denial, to actually pick up and say, yes, let me push myself. So this is the month of awareness. This is the month. There is a lot of things that has to do with spinal cord injury. We have to look into it. Anybody that has spinal cord injury is course draining. If a normal person can say, oh, life is tougher for them, somebody in a wheelchair is much more hyper tougher for them. You have to start looking to a wheelchair which is stable for you. Everything, talk about your wheelchair, talk about your assistive technology which can help you out as you progress. So spinal cord injury is expensive to manage. Talk about your catheter, talk about your diaper. You have to talk about every day of your life. Mostly you depend on your medications and other supplies that you need. So when we want to look at the things of emergency, like people living in the northeast part of Nigeria, or even in other eastern part of Nigeria where there is always chaos running and all that, someone in a wheelchair, how can this person adapt? It's very difficult because people with their 2 feet will run and forget it. And even if when they want to assist you, they don't even know how to carry you. So this is where a lot of agencies will work in support with, will collaborate together with some NGOs, with Spinal Cord Injury, and also Spinal Cord Injury Association of Nigeria, to educate people in event of any casualty, or in event of any emergency. So this is one of the things that we want the government to look at. Not only one individual, any individual that can come up with a rehabilitation service center for spinal cord injury and other disabilities, it will be very helpful for us to navigate through life and for us to stay focused. So this is the month, and there is a lot to discuss on this part of it. So take care of yourself and know that life has happened, but we have to navigate with a positive mind. Like my channel, my name is Monica Arinze. Like my channel, subscribe and share. Bye bye.